Welcome to a House of Dice Warmachine Hordes battle report. Today I'm joined by Marc, and we'll be playing a 25-point game on the Recon Scenario. Who did you bring today, Marc?
Today I was bringing Sturgis.
And I'm bringing Kea too. And now we'll take a look at the lists, and then a look at the table. Cygnar is being led by Commander Dalin Sturgis, and in his battle group is an Avenger and a Reliant. Joining him is Lieutenant Allison Jakes, and in her battle group is a Charger. They are joined by a unit of Stormsmith Grenadiers. The mercenary Ragman rounds out the list. Cygnar brings the armory objective. Circle Orboros is led by Kea the Moonhunter, and in her battle group is Laris, a feral Warpwolf, a Warpwolf Stalker, and a Gnarlhorn Satyr. Circle Orboros brings the stockpile objective. The scenario for today's battle is Recon. Players earn a control point for destroying the opponent's objective, 1 point for controlling the zone, 2 points for dominating the zone, and 1 point for dominating a flag. For the terrain, all the stone walls and sandbags are obstacles granting cover. The bushes are obstacles granting concealment. The clock tower and other buildings are obstructions giving cover. There is a forest and also a hill. Cygnar deployment. Sturgis deploys in the middle of the board with the Reliant and the Avenger beside him. The Grenadiers deploy to his right. Ragman, Lieutenant Jakes, and the Charger deploy to his left. Circle Orboros deployment. Kea deploys in the middle of the board with the Feral and the Gnarlhorn to her left. Laris and the Stalker are on her right. Cygnar, turn 1. Sturgis keeps all of the focus on himself, and Jakes does the same. All the Warjacks gain a focus from power up. Sturgis activates and spends 2 focus to cast Arcane Shield onto the Avenger, giving the Warjack an armor bonus. The Warcaster spends another 2 focus to give Snipe to the Grenadiers, increasing their range of the grenades. He then advances up and takes cover behind the house, camping 2 focus. Jakes activates next and casts Sidekick on the Charger for 3 focus, giving the Warjack a defense bonus, and if she's base to base with it, she gets a defense bonus as well. The Lieutenant then advances up the field. The Charger activates and spends a focus to run up to the bushes. Ragman goes next and runs up the hill towards the armory. The Avenger activates and spends a focus to run towards the hill as well. The Reliant activates, spends a focus to run up, and gets onto the hill, guarding the armory. The Grenadiers run up to the bushes towards the flag. Circle Orboros, turn 1. Laris goes first and is forced to run up to the rock wall, gaining cover. The Warpwolf Stalker warps Prowl and runs into the forest for 1 fury. The Feral Warpwolf activates next and warps armor. He then riles for 2 and is forced to run up the hill to the stockpile. Kea activates next and advances up the hill. She then spends 3 fury to cast Shadowpack, giving her battle group stealth. The Warlock spends 2 more fury to cast Forced Evolution onto the Feral, giving him a strength and defense bonus. The Gnarlhorn activates next and is forced to run near the hill. Cygnar, turn 2. Sturgis upkeeps Snipe on the Grenadiers, and Jakes upkeeps Sidekick. Jakes gives 1 focus to the Charger. All the Warjacks gain a focus from power up. The Grenadiers move up, surrounding the flag and getting the Gnarlhorn into range. With a war cry, they throw their kinetic grip grenades at the Satyr. They scatter due to stealth. The first grenade moves 2 inches in the 2 direction, still hitting the Gnarlhorn. The damage is dice minus 11. The attack does no damage, but the Gnarlhorn is slowed from the attack. The second Grenadier throws his kinetic grip grenade, scattering 5 inches in the 5 direction, missing the Warbeast. The last Grenadier throws his kinetic grenade, scattering 4 inches in the 4 direction, still clipping the Gnarlhorn. He rolls for damage at dice minus 11. He rolls a 9, doing no damage, but slowing the Satyr even further. Sturgis activates and moves up to the hill. He spends 2 focus to cast Arcane Shield on the Reliant. He spends 2 more focus to cast Snipe on the Avenger. The Reliant moves up to the armory and levels his Stormbringer cannon at the Feral. Due to stealth, the attack automatically misses and scatters. It scatters 2 inches to the 6 direction and hits the Feral with its blast. The damage is dice minus 11, and he boosts the damage. He rolls a 13, doing 2 damage to Spiral 3 of the Warp Wolf. The attack leaves an Electrofield AoE doing a POW 10 damage roll to models entering or ending their activation in it. Jake's activates next and casts Energizer for 2 focus, allowing her battle group to move 2 inches. She moves slightly to her right, while the Charger moves around the bushes. The Charger moves up the hill and shoots at the Feral with its dual cannon. It needs a 10 to hit and boosts. It rolls an 8 and the attack misses. The Warjack takes its second shot and boosts again. It rolls a 15 and the attack hits. Due to powerful shot, the attack is boosted, damaging at dice minus 6. It rolls a 4, doing no damage to the Warp Wolf. Ragman activates next and decides to stand next to the armory. The Avenger activates and runs behind the Reliant. Circle Orboros, turn 2. Kea leeches all fury from her war beasts. She then upkeeps Forced Evolution on the Feral. Laris activates and is forced to run to the flag. Kea activates next, and she spends 2 fury to use Laris' Animus Spirit Shift, allowing her to teleport within 2 inches of Laris. The Warlock then targets the Charger with Dogpile for 2 fury. She gets a backstrike and boosts to hit, needing an 8. She rolls a 14 and the attack hits, doing no damage but allowing Warbeast to charge the Warjack for free, and they also get a movement bonus. Kea then casts her feat, Call of the Hunt, allowing Warbeast to be forced outside of her control range, and at the end of their activation they can teleport back to her. The Stalker charges the Charger and attacks with his sword. He needs a 9 and boosts to hit. Rolling a 9, the attack hits and does damage at dice plus 2. He rolls a 15, doing 17 damage to column 1 of the Warjack, knocking out the movement system. He strikes with his claw, hitting on anything but double 1s. The attack hits and does damage at straight dice. He rolls a 5 and does 5 damage to column 5 of the Charger. The Stalker is forced to attack with his sword once again. The attack hits, and at dice plus 2, he rolls for damage. He rolls a 3 and does 5 damage to column 6 of the Warjack, destroying it. The Warbeast then teleports back to Kea. The Feral Warpwolf activates next and is forced to charge the Reliant. He attacks with his claw, needing a 5 to hit, but he rolls a 3 and the attack misses. The Warbeast attacks with his other claw, but rolls a 4 and the attack also misses. The Feral bites the Warjack, rolling a 6 and the attack hits. He rolls for damage at dice minus 3. He rolls a 10 and does 7 damage to column 1. The Feral is forced to attack again with his claw, and he rolls a 10 and the attack hits. Damage is dice minus 2, and he rolls an 11, doing 9 damage to column 3. Forced once again, the Feral strikes with his claw. He rolls a 9, hitting the Reliant. He rolls for damage, and rolls a 4, doing 2 damage to column 2. The Warbeast is pushed to its limits and forced to attack again with its claw, but rolls a 4 and misses. The Warbeast then teleports back to Kea. The Gnarlhorn activates and charges the Grenadier. Because of the kinetic grip grenades, he doesn't make it to the Trooper, but makes it close enough to contest the flag. Circle scores a control point. Cygnar, turn 3. Sturgis gives 2 focus to the Avenger and 2 focus to the Reliant. Jake's keeps all focus on herself, and all the Warjacks gain a focus from power up. The Grenadiers go first and throw more kinetic grip grenades at the Gnarlhorn. All the troopers stand still to aim. The first Stormsmith hurls his grenade. He needs a 4 to hit. Rolling a 9, the attack hits. Damage is dice minus 5. He rolls an 11 and does 6 damage to Spiral 1, slowing the Warbeast. The second Grenadier throws his kinetic grenade, and rolling a 6, the attack hits. At dice minus 5, he rolls an 11 for damage, doing just 6 damage to Spiral 2 of the Gnarlhorn. The last Stormsmith throws his grenade. He rolls a 5, and the attack just makes it. He rolls for damage, but rolls a 3, doing no damage, but slows the Satyr. Ragman walks behind the Warjacks and uses his ability Death Field, giving all models within 3 inches of him Dark Shroud. Dark Shroud causes models engaged with them to be -2 armor. Sturgis activates and walks alongside the hill. He then pops his feet dead on arrival, pulling all non-Warcaster enemy models in his control range 3 inches towards him, then doing a POW 12 damage roll to any models within 3 inches of him. The only model caught is the Gnarlhorn, and he is pulled 3 inches towards Sturgis. The Gnarlhorn is within 3 inches of him and takes damage at dice -6. He rolls a 10, doing 4 damage to Spiral 5 of the Gnarlhorn. Sturgis then takes aim at the stockpile and shoots his hand cannon. It hits on anything but double ones due to immobile. He rolls a 3, and the attack just makes it. Damage is dice -6. He rolls a 6, doing no damage. He then spends 2 focus to teleport to the flag. The Reliant activates next and walks up to the Gnarlhorn. It swings with its pulse hammer, needing a 5 to hit, but it rolls a 3 and the attack misses. The Warjack spends another focus to attack again. It rolls an 8 and the attack crashes into the Gnarlhorn. Damage is dice +3. It rolls an 8, doing 11 damage to Spiral 1 of the Gnarlhorn, killing the Warbeast. Jakes runs up to contest the flag. The Avenger activates and walks up behind the Reliant. It raises its seismic cannon at the objective and shoots, hitting on anything but double ones. And he boosts. It rolls a 9 and boosts damage at dice -4. It rolls a 12, doing 8 damage to the stockpile. Cygnar scores a control point. Circle Orboros, turn 3. Kea leeches up to 6 Fury, leaving Laris at 1. If he rolls over a 9, Laris will Frenzy. He rolls an 8, just making it. Laris activates first and attacks Lieutenant Jakes. The Wolf needs a 9 to hit and boosts the attack. He rolls a 9 and the attack makes it. Damage is dice -1 and he boosts. He rolls a 9, doing 8 damage to the Journeyman Warcaster. Her shields flare as she spends a focus to overboost, taking 3 damage. The Stalker warps strength and charges the objective. The attack's auto hit due to immobile. The attack hits at straight dice. He rolls a 7, doing 7 damage to the armory. The Stalker attacks with his claw, hitting at dice -2. He rolls an 8 and does 6 damage to the objective. The Stalker is forced to attack with his sword, and the armory is destroyed, scoring a control point for Circle. The Feral warps speed and runs up to the enemy Warjacks. Kea activates and runs up to the zone. She then drops 2 Fury. Kea dominates the zone and scores 2 points for Circle. Cygnar, turn 4. Sturgis gives the Reliant 1 focus and the Avenger 2 focus, and all the Warjacks gain a focus from power up. Ragman activates first and walks up the hill, getting between the 2 Warbeasts. He then uses his Death Field ability. The Reliant activates next and walks up beside the Feral Warpwolf. The Warjack headbutts the Feral, needing a 9 to hit and boosts the attack. He rolls 3 ones and the attack misses. The Avenger walks to flank the Warbeast and also attempts to headbutt the Warpwolf. He boosts the attack, needing a 9 to hit. It rolls an 11 and the headbutt connects, knocking down the Warbeast. The damage is dice -2. It rolls a 6, doing 4 damage to Spiral 2 of the Feral. The Avenger buys another attack, slashing at the knockdown Warpwolf with his stun blade. The damage is dice +4. He rolls a 2, doing 6 damage to Spiral 4 of the Feral. Lieutenant Jakes activates and walks around Laris. She is immune to free strikes due to parry. The Journeyman Warcaster strikes at the Wolf with a Mechanica Blade, needing a 7 to hit. She rolls a 5 and the attack misses. Jakes swings with her dueling dagger, but rolls a 5 and misses again. She buys an attack with her sword. Rolling a 9, the attack hits. She boosts damage at dice -4. She rolls an 8, doing 4 damage to Spiral 1 of Laris. The Lieutenant buys another attack, and just makes it with a 7. She boosts damage and rolls a 10, doing 6 damage to Spiral 4 of Laris. Sturgis activates and charges the Feral. Due to knockdown, the attack automatically hits. Damage is dice -1. And he rolls a 12, doing 11 damage to Spiral 4 of the Feral. Striking with his second attack, he rolls for damage. Rolling a 6, he does 5 damage to Spiral 5 of the Warbeast. Since both of his attacks hit, he's able to use his flash ability, allowing him to be placed anywhere within 3 inches of his current location. He then uses 2 focus to teleport to the flag. The Grenadiers go next. They move up. The first Stormsmith takes aim at the Feral with his Voltaic Vortex Grenade, hitting on anything but double ones. He rolls a 3 and the attack hits. Damage is dice -1 on the grenade, and models within 2 inches of him are pulled in 2 inches. And rolls a 10, killing the Feral. The second Grenadier throws his Kinetic Grip Grenade at the Stalker, needing a 12 to hit. He rolls a 12 and the attack hits. Damage on the Warwolf is dice -1. He rolls a 3, doing 2 damage to Spiral 1, and slowing the Warbeast. Circle Orboros, turn 4. Kea leeches 3 Fury from Laris, and the Stalker must make a Frenzy check. He needs to roll under an 8. He fails his check. The Stalker frenzies and charges Ragman. He needs an 8 to hit. The Warbeast rolls an 11 and kills the Mercenary. Kea activates and uses Laris' Animus Spirit Shift to teleport to the Warbeast. She then attacks Jake's with her staff. She needs a 7 to hit and boosts. Rolling a 6, the attack misses. Kea swings with her staff, buying another attack and boosting to hit. She rolls a 13 and the attack hits. Damage on the Journeyman is dice -2. She rolls a 10 and kills Lieutenant Jakes. Circle scores a control point. And that results in a Circle victory. So Marc, very good game.
Thank you. You played very well.
Thank you. And so I want to talk about your list.
Okay.
What was the main focus of your list?
I find that at 25 points, you really have to have an awful lot of mileage out of every piece you're bringing. And so the concept was that I had to bring warjacks that were capable of both doing work and supporting the army. So the knockdown with the Avenger, the AoE covering fire on the Reliant, which didn't come into this game, but the ability to do that is super critical to get the maximum point efficiency. And then I had 7 points left after I took Jake's and the Charger. And the only thing in Cygnar for 7 points is the Grenadiers. Oh, and they went.
Yeah, they actually did some good work too.
They did.
You know, they polished off the Feral.
And -1 speed on a Gnarlhorn Griffin.
Yeah.
Griffin, a Gnarlhorn Satyr.
Yeah, and that caused him just to sit there.
That was good.
So that was good.
Yep.
My list was mostly meant on spamming heavies and creating very important pieces. I wanted to have the Feral with Forced Evolution to just really be a botherable piece. You can't do anything to him.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, and until he got knocked down, he was quite a wicked piece.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I really needed to get, as you said, mileage out of all my pieces.
Yep.
There was a point with the Gnarlhorn where I was trying to decide which piece to throw away, and I had not a single piece that wasn't crucial to my plan.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, those -2 speeds really wrote the Gnarlhorn off. So I mostly left him over on that side of the board to be a hindrance and stop you from scoring points.
Did fantastic. He was a bullet sponge of the highest order.
And he will be remembered for it. All right, so what do you think did the most work in your list?
Oh, that's a tough call. The Reliant, considering it was crippled so early in the game, did a surprising amount of work. And Sturgis, the ability to both have Arcane Shield, Snipe, and teleporting around the table means that, in the same way that Kaya can always be contributing to the fight in really unusual ways, Sturgis has that ability as well. But of course the -6 speed on the Grenadiers is it's a hilarious ability when you can get it off. So
yeah, for me, as much as he missed a lot, my Feral. He had that run where he missed, 4 attacks?
Yeah, three of his 6.
Yeah, and it didn't go very well. And so I was going to punish him for it, but then he was that impossible to remove piece, and so I'd say him because he just was able to bother you and jam your pieces up.
No, he was fantastic.
Yeah, so I'd go MVP on the Feral there.
I would agree with you. I think he was probably the most important piece of the game.
things I need to work on my list. I do need to improve my Gnarlhorn play.
I would almost... the problem is at 25 points, getting a good unit of infantry is difficult because you want to take support to make your infantry good.
Of course,
and blood trackers is where you want to be, but they cost 1 billion points. So
we're not playing a 1 billion point game.
No. Imagine the editing.
Oh, it would be terrible. All right, so any other ways that you could think I would improve for the next game?
I don't think so. I think you have a really good concept of when you should be pressuring scenario, and you did that very actively and strongly. You peace traded very well. The one turn where you had to put in your Feral and your Stalker just to make sure you would win the game, it sounds rough, but it won you the game.
Yeah.
So I think that was the right call.
Yeah, the one thing I do need to look out for, and it really bit me in turn 2, was Fury management.
Yes.
I had totally forgot I needed to cast Shadow Pact to make sure everyone was safe.
Yeah.
And that caused my entire plan to just not backfire, but have to completely, take a right turn.
Yeah.
Reevaluate my entire game plan essentially.
Yeah, but because you crippled the gun on the Reliant, you were still able to pull off the, protect yourself from assassination, which is important.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do a better job of pressuring scenario while staying alive and not just throwing my pieces away.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Feral was a big piece in that. He was able to harass and didn't just get thrown away.
Yep, no, I completely agree.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out Marc over at Combo Smite at combosmite.com. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.